And on to a Times Now exclusive news break on top of the live report. It's called the Greenpeace charge sheet. 9 straight charges made by the government of India in its argument against NGO Greenpeace versus 182 signatures of activists who are taking on the government, accusing the government of a witch hunt against Greenpeace. Times Now is getting you the exclusive details of the Greenpeace charge sheet and what the government has said in its defense and its argument against Greenpeace. First up, some reactions coming in.
Greenpeace is being singled out. Together with a few civil society organizations, Greenpeace is being singled out by different departments and ministries of the government of India. And why? Is it because Greenpeace receives over 60%, close to 70% of its funding from ordinary citizens of this country? As a policy, Greenpeace does not take money from corporates, from governments. It takes money from ordinary people. The foreign accounts have been frozen. But why are the Indian accounts being frozen? The question that we have, and we seriously believe that Greenpeace is being targeted and attacked because Greenpeace is raising issues that concern large numbers of people. And it is, whether it be the way in which coal mining is taking place in Singrauli, or Greenpeace, as you know, is an international organization. It operates in 40 countries across the world. I think there are Mr. Gautam Adani, who is running the project, building a huge, over $8 billion project in Queensland, which involves a coal mine, a railroad and a port. Greenpeace Australia is also opposing that, and with the civil society organizations there and with the local communities, the indigenous communities. So I think all these factors haven't made some sections of this government particularly happy. And I think also the fact that the judiciary has intervened and the judiciary has told the government that the way in which Priya Pillai was not allowed to travel outside the country, the way in which the government froze a bank account. So all of these seem to have maybe unnerved the government.
That coal is the single biggest problem with regard to the question of... So they're all concerned with the question of coal. Do you think it is a coincidence that this government's preoccupation with wanting to expand coal production in collaboration with the corporations that are concerned with it, is something that is very much there, and now they are trying to go after all those organizations which are there? Are you going to tell me that all of these organizations are supposed to be accepted as being terrible, doing this, that, etc.? That is one thing which is very clear. And lastly, the point that I want to stress once again, what does it mean when Greenpeace internationally, as well as anywhere, India, does not take money from corporates or governments? It means, of course, that this is a stand which has a certain political moral integrity. They are going after a global issue. They are not going to allow corporate or even national concerns to detract from their criticism of anybody, any government or any corporate sector that is creating this.
I think this is another vindictive act to try and silence this organization. And I believe that all this is pending before the courts, and therefore to directly give orders like this when it is already before the court is clearly contempt of the court and trying to interfere in judicial proceedings. And I think it is wrong. And the IB, what is the role of the IB in this? If there's a financial transaction which is wrong, well, let the income tax authorities deal with it. How is the IB at all involved in this? So I think this is totally a vindictive action by the government.
In fact, we're just trying to queue up more reactions and details of the documents which the government claims it has serious charges against Greenpeace. There are 9 specific charges, and Times Now has details of the government document which has been sent to Greenpeace and why the government is taking the action it has already. Let's go across to Prema Sridevi joining us with details of the government document. The Ministry of Home Affairs, Prema, has 9 specific charges against Greenpeace. Take us through what these charges are.
Well, exactly. The Ministry of Home Affairs has several charges against Greenpeace. In fact, if you see earlier, the government had suspended the FCRA of Greenpeace. Now, what we are given to understand is that the government has issued a show cause notice to Greenpeace, asking Greenpeace why its FCRA should not be cancelled. In fact, if you see, government has raised several allegations allegations against Greenpeace. What MHA sources have been telling Times Now is that Greenpeace has been receiving a lot of foreign funding, and in turn, the NGO has been diverting these funds to several other bank accounts, and this without the knowledge of the government, without the approval of the government. Greenpeace has been doing this. In fact, MHA sources have told Times Now that Greenpeace has indulged in financial irregularities. There has been major financial bungling, and that is the reason why the government believes that it has to take the necessary steps to cancel the FCRA of Greenpeace. In fact, we're also being told that the government has even questioned the charity status of Greenpeace. Today, if you see Greenpeace activists with several civil society members had gone to MHA to meet the Home Minister and the Home Secretary. They, in fact, have submitted a memorandum to the ministry. In this memorandum, they have gone on to allege that the government is on a witch hunt and the government is singling out the agency.